Episode 6 of Critical Role is finished, so we're here to talk to you about what we think, the theories we have, and what might come next. We're going to start, of course, as always, with the cold open. I wasn't really sure what to expect with a lot of these kind of going forward, and I love that I'm always kind of kept on my toes. And I think I really like the idea of using the other parties in the cold open when it's not their table, just as a way to keep us kind of connected in like remembering where they are. And I think I've said it before too, that I think it's just a really good way to explore more backstory that wouldn't otherwise come up in an organic way. This was kind of a big one, and I want to know what you thought to see if you caught what I caught, because I'm still not even sure if I'm interpreting this right or if maybe there was something I missed, because this seems significant.
I really loved how this how we got to see more of Valus and then the Valus Octus kind of relationship and how that's grown during the memory that because Valus says that she kind of goes into a trance.
Yeah, elves don't rest the same way that like humans do. It's why they only need like 4 hours, because they like meditate or they trance instead.
Yeah,
did you catch her mother's name?
I didn't note it.
It was Salandri. Does that sound familiar to you?
Oh God, Robbie. What? No, it doesn't. What is it?
That's the name of the elves' shaper. That's the goddess's name.
So is her daughter?
So now, so when I heard that, right. This is how I kind of looked. I was like, what? Okay. I'm like, hold on, what? But then I'm like, wait. Maybe it's in the way that, you know, we like people will refer to us like, oh, we're all God's children, right? The Shaper made all of them, so they're all right. So that's what I thought.
Okay.
Hold on. But then when they were like sitting at the table at dinner or like whatever it was in that memory,
her siblings,
she mentioned one of 3 daughters.
Yeah.
One of 3. If it was, oh, we're all her children, would be way more than that. So unless the goddess is going around and having like, you know, like different fathers, and that's...
I'm so glad that you said that, because remember last episode where you were like, I think this is the Valus' relationship, and I was like, oh, I thought you were going to say daughter.
Well, and I also had that theory about what if Valus was the one who shot the last arrow. That seems like such a way to just be like, oh yeah, by the way, Valus is the goddess's daughter, in a cold open, and then just move on to something different. So I don't know if we're still missing something, if I misinterpreted something or what. But so I mean, people watching this, definitely comment your thought. Like, am I crazy, or was that not a confirmation? And unless her mother was just named after the goddess, maybe. I don't, but like
that seems too much of a coincidence.
So yes,
like,
what?
Brennan did that on purpose. So
yes, I haven't seen anybody talking about it.
I'm so glad you said that
yet, though.
I'm so bad. I'm so bad with names. I would not have clocked that.
And making that connection,
didn't. But I did love the cold open.
Yeah,
I love all the like. This episode had so much about memory and family, and I was like, oh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah, and the just the little scene that we had between Valus and Octus now as well. You know, I obviously everything he's going through is very heartbreaking and sad, but the fact that Valus obviously doesn't know what he's going through, but she has a certain, I think, relationship with not immortality or not being able to die, but there's definitely, I think, something there that they can, a kinship, right? And so now that he doesn't necessarily have to be alone while everyone else is sleeping, I think it's a very nice moment. And we got a few like really just sweet moments that I'll be sure to mention as we go through from this episode as well. I thought we were going to jump right into like, you know, trauma and death and combat and fighting, and there was still a lot of great
fun
moments. Yes. We got another one of the gods were mentioned, and that was the goddess of magic, which Albid mentioned, from the city of the stars, which must be or must have been like the capital city of the gnomes. So we know now that the gnomish goddess was that of magic. And I've been trying to follow everything and like looking things up. And so far, as far as the shapers, we have Asgra the Conqueror. That's the shaper of orcs, god of war, conquest, and suffering. Rowan the Trickster, shaper of the halflings, goddess of trickery. Salandri the Green Mother, shaper of the elves, goddess of life. Tansul, shaper of the humans, god of the sun, remembered as a false deity now by the Candescent Creed, so working that propaganda machine. And then goddess of magic, shaper of the gnomes, and apparently the goddess of the forge was mentioned at some point. I missed that. The shaper of the dwarves. So there's a seventh one we don't know about yet, but the only species now that was mentioned in the very first episode that hasn't been mentioned or given a god is the beast folk. So
okay,
something to keep an eye out on.
The web is growing.
One of those moments that I just thought was like, it just made my heart swell was when Thimble offered to, like, if she meets any pixies who need a home.
Yeah.
When she's like, you have a garden that you can't tend to. Like let me send, like, you know, pixies here to, like, help you. You can protect them. They can protect you. And I was just like, oh my God. Oh, it was
He made us care so much about Albed. Like, I love Albed.
As soon as Tyranny asked about the knife, I'm like, oh no. I'm like, she's gonna take it. She's gonna take it. Okay, so I think this is the first part where we need to talk about why this stuff is happening, because a lot of stuff moved very, very fast. I'm actually surprised but glad that Tyranny told Wick so quickly about the knife, and it wasn't something that they just hid for like a couple sessions. First of all,
guilt was immediate.
I would have went back. I'd have been like, we're going back, y'all. Sorry, we're heading back right now.
I know you would. You're such a Robbie for that.
But she was talking about, I forget the exact word she used. She called it like archetypical energy or whatever. But yeah. it seems like there must be something that demons go through, some sort of process, right, where they have to either inflict a certain sort of emotion or sin or something on humans to complete something within them, right? Because the way that Brennan talked, it seemed like, you know, her sisters had already done those sorts of things, and that's maybe why they feel so differently, and she's trying to fight back against the suffering that she's supposed to inflict on someone.
Yeah.
I have a theory. It's something that I've just kind of randomly thrown out there before because it just popped into my head with necessarily no evidence, and I don't really have what is like concrete evidence, but it just sort of the human brain likes to connect things, right, randomly.
Yeah.
So we had mentioned before, what if the girl that Wick was in love with, that the family was like, oh, she's a commoner, you can't. We're like, she probably got offed, right? Probably got sent to those twins. They cut up her shadow, whatever. And whether she was good or bad, I feel like when demons get a hold of your soul goes to hell anyway, right? Gets turned into a demon. That demon, whether purposefully or just by chance of fate, happens to be pulled up to now serve him as Tyranny. Doesn't remember it. So what if the girl that Wick loved is Tyranny, right? And so now there's some trauma or there's some transfixation that she has about love, right? And she wants to touch things that have been, or take things that have been touched by love, or that represents it, because it's something that she feels she could never have.
Yeah.
I mean, again, maybe, probably not, right? It's probably more linked to this idea of just causing suffering, but like,
there was a moment later in the episode where Wick is like mentioning his betrothed, and then Thimble goes like to Tyranny, "You're engaged?" And Tyranny's like, "What?" And so in that moment, I never even considered that.
Yeah.
But in that moment, that was where I was like, "Oh, it's kind of weird."
Can I point something else out?
Yes.
Okay. So when Cadigan yelled at Tyranny,
how
did she feel? What was her reaction to that? She didn't like it. She was like, "Please don't yell at me." Like, she was sad. She was scared.
She was trying so hard to explain, and he would not let her
to just be good. Yeah.
Yeah. And
what happened last time that Tyranny got yelled at in episode 1 by Wick?
Oh, I don't remember.
The
Tell
quote
me.
is, "I got put in my place and the basement is flooded."
Oh
Wick
shit. Yeah.
yells at her, she gets turned on. Cadigan yells at her, she's scared, afraid,
I
and
thought
sad.
I thought that was Whitney's basement, not Tyranny's.
No, I'm pretty sure that was in character.
Okay.
So I
It could be
know
both.
I know that like I hate when like my mind in theories just automatically go to, oh, these two characters have to be romantic, right? Like they don't.
Yeah.
Relationships don't have to be romantic. They can be platonic. Like that's fine. And I know a lot of people have shared or expressed like, oh, I feel like this is more like brother and like older sister. But for some reason, I feel like I keep seeing these little things that's like, yeah, but like I don't know, maybe there might be something there. I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe
We'll see.
one of my favorite quotes, because Sam's so fast with like the prayers,
Mm-hmm.
and then out of character, Travis goes, "How are you so fast with that shit?" And Robbie says, "I think he wrote a whole Bible."
No, he did. He did. Brennan's talked about this before that Sam basically came to him, once they had the character concept. He's like, hey, if
Mhm.
if my whole thing is like I'm preaching this and I'm supposed to be like the next like big thing, he's like, I kind of feel like I should like it should be written, like I should have it. So I don't know
Mhm.
how much he actually has, but yeah, apparently he wrote a lot
Yeah.
of stuff for it. So,
My favorite moment in this whole scene, and I wrote it down. Tyranny goblins Wick's porridge.
oh, just like
I meant to put gobble, but it autocorrected to goblins.
it
I'm like, you know
fits.
what?
It
Still
fits. Yeah,
accurate.
it does. Yeah, I love when she has those moments where like, okay, yeah, I'm trying to be like a person and like be good, but she still has those moments where she just kind of defaults to
She's
a
so feral.
very feral demon vibe, which is a lot of
And we
fun.
love that. Hmm.
Uh so this first fight, I really like that all of the fights so far, and I think that this is, I mean, obviously Brennan's a great dungeon master, right? But I think that when you have fights that aren't just where the players are like, okay, let's just reduce everyone's HP to 0 as quickly as we can,
Hmm.
those are the most exciting. Those are the best kind of fights, right? And so seeing them just immediately try to diffuse the situation after Teor, of all people, guiding bolted someone was great. And I have to say, Wick and Sam
I
absolutely
can't.
ate this
I can't.
episode.
Wick accidentally, like, I don't know what. It just seems like we have the least amount of faith in him, but he has so much faith in himself
But which
that
even
like he
he's
like
questioning
slays.
though. Yeah.
He
I
just
think it's
slays.
it's it's so exciting, and I think it's such a good example of how dice can help you tell a story, because obviously if they would have been failing, if he would have failed through this whole thing, or even
Mm.
just had a couple of big failures, that then gives him as the player, I think, essentially the chance to play through like a crisis of faith, right? Then he would, I think, start thinking, or more along the lines of his family, that
Mhm.
maybe my grandma's right. This isn't what my mother told me it was. It's not working the way that I think that it does. But because he's been succeeding so much, and with Tyranny at his side telling him, like, even if you don't believe it, I see it. Like, there is something there. Now he gets to embrace that instead. And the fact that he had this moment of using celestial radiance, which by the way is a ASMR thing. So as far as his species is
Yeah.
mechanically ASMR. Now I know that there were some
Mhm.
people that pointed things out like, oh, but he has the wings. You can't have both of those. Those are two different things. So first of all, the species in
It's
2024.
D&D. You can have anything you want, I
Yeah.
think.
So mechanically, whenever you use your ASMR ability, there's three different ones. There's I think the wings, inner radiance, and then there's like necrotic shroud
Mhm.
or something like that, like the fallen ASMR one. And it says that when you use this, you choose which option you want at that time. So you have all three of them. You can't use them all at once, sure, but when Brennan
That's so
mentioned the
cool.
wings, I think that was just like for narrative flavor, because then he immediately
Yeah.
drops to the ground afterwards.
Yeah, I love the when he's kind of this is happening and Brennan says the god of sun was killed 70 years ago, but the sun still shines.
Mm-hmm.
Forms break, titles change, but truth remains forever. I was like, huh.
This is the second time that he has made a reference that the way that I've interpreted it was this
Yes.
idea that, like, yes, the gods
Mhm.
have died, they're gone. But in the same way that humans die, you don't just cease to exist. You go somewhere. Something
Yes, that was like
happens. What happened to
that
the
was where
gods?
the code.
Where are they? Right?
Yes.
Mm.
This whole piece like was so inspiring, and that Wick is just he just like is falling into whatever role
Yeah.
for this.
Well, in
And
in in the second combat later, even though he
mhm.
makes really rash decisions in
Oh,
combat, like running forward by
yeah.
himself and stuff, the fact that every time he rolled, it was a good one. Every time something rolled to hit him, like he had the shield. It's so great when the dice
That was
back
good.
up the moment that your character is having. You know, the fact that he took
Yeah.
no damage that whole time when he could have been one shot, it all
Yes.
works so well for him. And I love that this has him sort of on this trajectory to really be who he thinks that he is, and to hopefully one day shove that back in his family's face. But let's go back
Mhm.
to Hawthorne's Glade. First of all, Skinner, great NPC.
I fucking love Skinner.
Red caps are canonically, lore wise, literally like psychopathic
Mhm.
murderers. And so to have one be in this sort of social situation, like, yeah, no, he's part of the Glade, like he's cool, and just the way that he act, like it's oh, Brench has the best NPCs. I love Skinner so much. It was
He
so
had so
funny.
many amazing quotes. I'm gonna open you up and put my hat in you.
Yes, yes, and like even when Tear tried to, like, honestly, like, apologize to him and like make amends, he's just like,
It's just
nope, it ain't happening.
he's a curmudgeon and I love it.
Yeah. Oh, so good. There were a
And
lot
Honeysuckle
of
too.
NPCs. Yeah, just a
Rust
lot of
Blossom.
NPCs there. They met that owl fae that apparently
Joff,
knew
yeah.
Thimble, the little
And
rust
Thiazi,
blossom,
yeah.
the like plate one. Um,
I was
Subri
dying.
was great. Hawthorne was great, and I also
Salo.
I want to commend both Brennan and Laura, because anytime I ever try to put a hag
Yeah.
into a campaign, players just automatically disengage with it. Just like, nope, nope, hags are bad. Bye, goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Hags are bad
Yeah, you
deals.
could see that initially. You could see the
Mm-hmm.
PTSD that Travis and Laura had,
Yeah, but
and
like,
Sam. They were just like, oh, oh, oh.
it's it's always disappointing as a DM. Like to a point, obviously,
Hmm.
and I understand some players' apprehensions, because there are some DMs who are very punishing, right? Like they would put a hag in front of
Yeah.
you, and then the player might think, "Oh, cool, let's interact with this," because like it would be rude, or it would suck for the DM to put these things in front of us, and then for us to not interact with it. And there's some DMs that I think don't treat that relationship with the players and like with the story and stuff with enough respect, to where they just go, "Oh yeah, you made the hag deal, wrong choice. Like now you're like, it's just something really really bad, right?" And then they're like, "Well, I guess you shouldn't have interacted with it." And it's like, yeah, but that wouldn't have been any fun for anybody. And
Hmm.
so finding the right sort of line between a player and a DM for, like, all right, I've put this interesting thing here, they've engaged with it, but
Hmm.
we don't want to make it so, we want to make it interesting, not punishing, to where the players don't want to do those things in the future, right? And I thought that
Hmm.
this scene just, it unfolded so perfectly. And like that scene of like, yeah, why do I call him Thaz? And then taking that
Yeah.
moment was heartbreaking. And fucking Robbie being like, tell her, tell me, and I'll remind you,
Yeah, that was so
was so
sweet.
sweet. And then even at the end when he's like, don't worry, I won't let you forget. And she goes, forget what? Oh,
Yeah, that hurt
so
so much. But it
good.
was they got, she gave something good and they got something too. They were shown a memory of Casimir basically being bought off.
Not just that, Casimir felt betrayal from Thiazi.
Hmm.
What has Thiazi done that made Casimir willing to betray him?
Yeah.
Because when they said, glad your loyalty can be bought, he goes, no, I don't have any loyalty there. That's not what
Yeah.
you're buying.
A question that came up for me right after the scene was, does Salo she ate, did she eat that memory from somebody, and who did she eat it from?
That
Or was it just
is
something that just manifested
That's a
in the
good
tray?
question. That's a good question. I don't know if that was something that through magic she just had, or if she can only show memories that have been given to her.
Mm-hmm.
I have
It just feels
no
more,
idea.
it seems more hag coded that something she would have eaten from somebody. But I
Yeah.
mean, it could be the other way
Yeah,
around.
but I really don't know how that could have been, because Casimir hasn't been through the Glade. Now,
Mm-hmm.
it's possible she's left the Glade in some way. I don't think that Sid would have been there, or else he would have known about it prior to the betrayal, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know,
But
unless she has some connection to
I mean, to get
the
to the wraith
Taconuses,
tree,
maybe. I don't know. Oh,
maybe,
the Wraith tree is a very undead thing.
yeah,
I wonder
maybe
how
there's a
they
thread there.
installed the Wraith tree, but also Sallow, pointed out that she wasn't for the whole Wraith tree thing either, right? That wasn't she
Yeah.
thinks that's a dumb idea. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I didn't like that kind of
I don't know.
hit my mind for a minute, but not enough to think about it that deeply. That is a very, very good question. Even Brennan, after that whole Sallow scene, was like, "Why'd you make it so sad? Calm down, dog."
Yeah, honestly, when he said that, I was like, oh, that should be the name of this episode.
Yeah.
Because
So
Laura just brings it. Laura and Brennan.
the the Wraith root tree.
Yep.
What are the thoughts that you have about that?
The Wraith tree in general.
Yeah,
It's
because
scary as fuck.
that's when things got scary. I was actually surprised. I thought that when they defeated the Wraith, that would be
Yeah.
enough, but it was the tree itself. And when they mentioned,
Yes.
like, when he's like, you got all sorts of other things coming in from all sides, like Wolfric got knocked down to like half so
Mhm.
quickly.
I loved, like, right after this started, Tayor made a noise like the Cowardly Lion in Wizard of Oz. And I was like, I hope that's what that was, because that's exactly what it sounded like.
I
It
wonder
was,
what his, because I feel like in that fight there was a few weird, just like feelings I got on certain references to his powers, on like where are they actually
with Tayor?
from? Yeah, where does his connection to the light really come from?
Huh.
I don't necessarily really have a whole lot of theories around that just yet, but I think that there's something more there than just the idea that, like, oh well, it comes from his oath, obviously. I don't think it's that simple.
Mm-hmm.
We know that Sid is alive, probably going to be captured on the other side. It very much seems like he went through the forest because he knew that Casimir couldn't follow. But Casimir having the road, even with a wagon, is going to be able to get on the other side fast enough to probably capture him if he emerges from it.
We do know that they sent Sid to the Wraith tree.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, did he make a deal with the hag? Did he make it to the Wraith tree and then escape it?
I think that he probably didn't, like, maybe had started to go that way, but must have had some sort of like last minute, you know what, I better not, and decided to go a different way. But yeah, I don't know what to expect.
Yep.
Next.
But this battle,
Mm-hmm.
this battle had so many great moments.
Everybody had a really, really good moment in it. Yeah.
Everybody had like something that felt really good, even though that they thought that they were not gonna do well. Wick used he changed from a cleric to a sorcerer.
No. He used his cleric ability, innate sorcery. Very, very clearly
Okay.
cleric ability. Yeah, no, he's a sorcerer.
Okay, good.
He's a sorcerer.
Good to know.
I think that people had mentioned that he had used a feature earlier on that was like a clockwork soul sorcerer ability. So not divine soul like we thought. Could also be a weird homebrew that maybe mixes and matches a little bit. Who knows for sure? But yes, Wick is finally revealed as a sorcerer. So all those people, maybe just a bad cleric. Come on, don't be lazy.
His flare, his like spell or casting flares were like prismatic and light themed,
He said I have no way to
which
hurt
is like
anything.
I hated myself for not clocking faster that his name is Wick, like a candle wick.
Yeah,
And
like the
that
light.
he's like light, he's so light themed.
Can
And
I
I
can I
was
point
like,
something else though
oh
out though?
God.
What
Yeah.
do wicks do? Eventually they burn out.
Yeah, they do. They get to the end of the candle. I also did not clock thimble and pincushion. There was a fireside chat and Alex kind of mentions that. I don't think it's just like because I think it was just he thought it'd be cute.
Okay, there's not like a lore reason
No,
for it.
no.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And
Okay,
it
okay.
is super
Mm-hmm,
cute.
mm-hmm.
We need to talk about Wick and the strawberries.
What would
When
you
the
like to
wraith,
say about Wick and the strawberries?
there's a lot that I want to say, honestly.
Okay.
There's a lot that I want to say. I liked how Sam helped Whitney with her math, which is
Mm-hmm.
super relatable because I always needed help with my math. And then also when the Wraith rolled a natural one to attack Wick, and someone yelled, "You are blessed!" And Wick, as the Wraith swings to hit him, he like eats a strawberry.
I think that at some point, Wick and Tyranny are going to be separated. And I think that at that point, both of them are going to realize how much they actually care for each other. Like more than just, oh, I'm in a contract to him or whatever, right? I think that's when they'll start to realize,
Mm-hmm.
again, whether it's a platonic or a romantic thing, who knows how it's going to go. But I think they're going to be separated at some point for some reason, and
Mm-hmm.
there'll be a big moment of like I need to get back to them, and I think that's
Yeah.
gonna be really really powerful.
Yeah.
All
The
right,
last thing for me is things I made a note, things I need to draw. And it was honeysuckle with a locket with Tayor's picture in it with Fabio stuff.
yes, that's right. Things fan art is what we need to draw,
I
not things for
exact
the stuff that we're releasing.
it's canon in Critical Role. We can use it somewhere.
We probably could. Yes, that's true. All right, I don't really have a specific question this time, so I think instead I just want to know what everyone's favorite moment was, whether it was just a funny, silly thing that stood out to you, or if there was something that you clocked that we didn't talk about and would love to know our thoughts on. We do our best to answer and reply to all of the comments down below, so please let us know. Otherwise, that is going to be it for us this time, and we'll see you back here for episode 7 next week. Bye.
Bye.